Coming up on the Interludes podcast, dream architect coach and author Karen Glace. We had a lot to talk about, and I'm so grateful that she got a chance to let us know how she can make your dreams really fly. It's the Interludes podcast with Val the Voice Johnson, getting started right about now. The Interludes Podcast,
a Pure Lighthouse production.
This episode is brought to you by PureLighthouseMedia.com, home to the book, A DJ Saved My Life, where the ABCs of podcasting and the personal memoir come together perfectly. If you want to start your podcast journey, schedule a 15-minute call with me, research our podcasting blog tips. It's all on our fully remodeled website today.
And now, all the way from the south side of Chicago, give it up for your host, Val the Voice Johnson.
Hey everyone, it's another edition of the Interludes Podcast. I'm your host, Val the Voice Johnson, and I am excited to bring about someone who has supported this platform since its inception. In 2020, 2021, I met this young lady when we were part of a network. And one thing that I'm happy to say is that she is someone that she's a dream architect. She coaches people in this regard. And I remember looking at her logo, which is a beautiful butterfly. I've hosted a couple of things for her, and here's the thing, I had her agree to come back or to come to the platform because I want to talk about her book, You Can Overcome Anything with God. What a strong statement, and it needs to be made, especially during these times. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Glace. Hi.
Hello, Val the Voice. Good to be with you again. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. It is so good to talk to you. And I had to remind myself, you have been a sponsor, but not a guest. And I was like, we got to correct that. We got to talk about what you do and all the things that how you build people's dreams. And I love that, you're a dream builder. If someone was to ask you, my dream is to, and they need to fill in the blank, what structure would you give them to launch their completed sentence?
Well, let me start with this. In order for you to have anything you want, you have to have an idea of exactly where it is you want to go. So the very first thing I coach my clients in doing is creating your plan. Like, what do you see? Where do you see yourself going? That's the first thing.
Okay.
Because if you think about it in the Bible, or if you think about the book Think and Grow Rich, which actually a lot of the principles from the Bible is actually in the book Think and Grow Rich. Many people don't know that. Is that one thing is that God speaks to you through your dreams, the things that you long for. And the very first part is you have to write down what you want. And then you have to actually create it in your subconscious mind by getting present to it every single day. Where I come in, because of course somebody will say, I have an idea of what I want. I want to buy my dream home in Colombia.
Oh.
Or I want to fly a plane. I want to know how to fly a plane. Where I come in is, you created this dream plan, but exactly what actions are you taking to get you there? And that's why you need a coach. And so my style of coaching is what we call evocative coaching, because I believe every human being has exactly what it is they need to accomplish what they want in life. And so I ask the questions to get you there. So for example, when you feel like I'm not motivated, I don't feel like it, we get you out of your feelings and into action.
Which is necessary, unfortunately, because a lot of people, they'll say they want to start a business, they want to write a book, they want to start a podcast, whatever that is. And I'm thinking, if you're dreaming about this, what's the through line between actually it being a thought and then it becoming reality? So you help with that becoming a reality.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love what I do.
Exactly. I've been on some calls with Coach Karen Glace. I say coach because I know this is something that she's walking and running in her purpose when it comes to this. Now, I got a chance to sit down and read this book that you are a part of. It's an anthology. You Can Overcome Anything with God. And Caesar is the person that has gathered a couple of you all to talk about forgiveness. I think specifically that was your chapter. I remember reading this and kind of taking a couple of pauses, because in my mind I'm thinking, well, who do I need to forgive, or who do I need to, allow to not be aggravating or pressing buttons in my world. And when I read the chapter, I got emotional, because I was thinking that's a lot to go through, because your coaching came after this particular chapter in your life. You speak of two events that happened. Pick which one you want to talk about, but what inspired you to be a part of this anthology, and then specifically about what you wrote about? And I'll have you reveal what that is.
Right. So first of all, kudos to Caesar. He's been doing this for a long time, bringing a bunch of authors together, or anyone who desires to be an author. He's been bringing a host of people together. Like, I think this was volume 15 that I was a part of. So it is reputable. He's been doing this every single year. And he's approached me in the past, but when he said the book is going to be anything is possible. No, what was it? I'm sorry.
You can overcome anything.
You can overcome anything with God. That's what it is. He said, you can overcome anything with God. And I'm like, yep, count me in, because without God, none of this would have been possible. And then my chapter, I decided to put it on forgiveness is possible with God. That's it. I love that. And I'm getting goosebumps saying that, because I honestly believe, had those two key things that I wrote about in that chapter had not happened, I would not be who I am today. And that I want to also make known that literally, whenever something is not going right in life, and you feel like, I don't know exactly how I'm going to get through this, I want to reiterate that God sees the full picture. Because, of course, I'm going to share that one part of it is that my sister was killed in 2007 on Father's Day. Needless to say, my father's Day will never be the same.
Yeah.
But had anyone told me that from that incident that I would be who I am today, I would be like, no way. Because in the chapter, I shared who I became in the process. I became angry. I became bitter. I was spiraling out of control. Yeah. And if it was not for God, me turning to him, none of this, Coach Glace, would not exist.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people want to explain away, I lost someone, it hurts, and I went to God, and I I don't want to be associated with God anymore. I want to push God away because I'm so hurt by losing this loved one. And sisters, how close were you and your sister?
Very, very close. Very close. And I have to tell you,
older or younger? Who was
she
older?
was younger. I'm the first of
You're the
4
first.
girls. Yeah,
Okay.
I am the first of 4 girls. And my sister, who I wrote about, Tamara, she was actually number 3. And I was very close to her. If anything, when I think of her, I think of her as being mini me.
Oh.
Mini me. To the point where I had my very first car was an Accord. So she went out and she got herself an Accord too, a Honda Accord. She got herself a Honda Accord too. Now,
it's a great car.
Yeah. Now, the difference between the two of us is that she had more pizzazz. She was more flashier, you know? And, you know, when I think back about her, one of the fond memories is that this girl was always taking a picture in some outfit. And I look back on it, like she was always taking pictures. And I'm like, how many pictures does this girl take? And in retrospect, when I think about her and I think about her life, I was like, you know what? She was preparing us to let us know her life was going to be short. And she wanted to leave us memories. And that's why she was taking all those pictures. You know? So, yeah, going back to your question, though, in that, you know, I lost a loved one. Why did this happen? Why me? Why us? Why our family? Because trust me, I went there. And yes, I turned away from God to the point where when you hear in the book, I actually stopped my Christianity and I started practicing Buddhism. I started looking at other religions, just religious practices and religions, just to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
You know? Another thing I wrote is that I don't even believe in the death penalty. And I believe in that moment, in my anger, the people responsible for her death, I wanted them dead.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I share those emotions in that chapter. But with time, what I can say to anyone who's dealing with the loss of a loved one, and I'm talking about a physical death or maybe the loss of a relationship, because that's the second part that I wrote about in my book.
Right.
I mean, in the chapter. I have my main book coming out soon. Is that God sees the whole picture. And with time, anything is possible. But there are 2 powerful practices I want to share with your listeners today. The very first practice is gratitude. In all things, be thankful. Be grateful in all things. That's also in the Bible. And 2, forgive.
Yeah.
2 powerful practices that's going to get you through anything whenever you're dealing with anything challenging.
Hey everyone, it's Val the Voice. We interrupt this wonderful episode to ask a question. Are you subscribed and liking this particular episode? Well, we want to make sure that you are following us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we want to continue to give you great content just like this. All right, I'm so sorry. Let's get back to the episode right now. Yeah. When you're advising your clients regarding their dreams, would you be able to detect a unforgiveness blockage to their dreams? Or how would you advise them if they know, I want to do this, but then what's coming up for them is that divorce that they went through, or the loss of a child, or a loss of another loved one, and you're able to kind of tap into, you want this dream to happen, but something is blocking it. Would unforgiveness be one of those elements?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in the Dream Building program, there's actually 2 weeks that I focus on when it comes to forgiveness.
Oh, okay.
Because I want you to think of not forgiving something, not forgiving someone. It's like having weeds in a garden.
Yeah.
So if I say to you, hey Val, what's your favorite kind of flower? You may say roses. I love roses. And then I say, well, if you're not taking care of your rose garden, what's possible? What's going to happen? Weeds are going to grow in that garden. I want you to think of holding on to things that you're not forgiving. I want you to think of those as weeds. And what happens when weeds enter your garden? They're going to kill all your roses. And so it's the same thing with your dream. If you're holding on to things, you're holding on to not forgiving someone. You're holding on to not forgiving yourself for something. That's very important. It's choking out what it is you're creating. So you have to release it in order for you to move forward. Yeah. Or another way said, it's like this. If I tell you, let's go swimming, and you have a big heavy brick wrapped around your leg, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to sink. You're not going to get far swimming. Consider that brick is holding on to hurt, unforgiveness, and you're not going to get far. So in order for you to move forward, you have to release all those negative feelings, all those people who you think may have wronged you. And, another thing that I tell clients is that you always want to look for, what did I learn from this situation? Because everything that has happened in life, everything that has happened up until now, believe it or not, it's paving your way for where you're going. So you have to take the gold, all the valuable pieces from that experience, and really look to see, how can I apply it here?
Right.
Now, I think I need to make a very important point in this stage right now.
Okay.
Especially in our community, Black community. Many people think about coaching as therapy. And the two are distinctly different. See, when you go to therapy, you work on healing the past. When you come to a coach, the coach is designed to have you move forward. It's kind of like this. If you go to the gym and you tell a physical trainer or a coach, give me the body like Halle Berry, they're not going to be focusing on what you ate for the last 3 years. They're going to give you a new menu, a new plan, and have you move forward. And it's the same thing with coaching.
Yeah. And I think that's important that folks understand the difference between that. And I know when dealing with kind of releasing and going forward with your dreams, you want to make sure that there are no bricks holding you back as you try to leap into the future. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, when I think of people, especially women in my life that have been very influential, and I think automatically my mom comes to mind. You spoke very fondly of your sister that you lost, but is there other women or a specific woman in your life that has inspired you to continue helping people build their dreams?
Oh my, there's not just one woman. There are many women, many, many women. Like, I did not become who I am without them. First of all, I'm from a family of entrepreneurs, and I'm telling you, the women are the matriarchs of the family, like literally. When I think of like even my great-grandmother, my Aunt Ju, when I think of my Aunt Joyce, right? When I think of my Aunt Lucia, when I think of my Aunt Bev, when I think about my Aunt Marcia, and believe it or not, when I also think about my mother, and by the way, I have to say, like, my mother and I, we've had a turbulent relationship. I think many daughters go through that with their mothers.
Of course.
Yeah, it's like just, I guess, a mother-daughter love thing. They're always at odds. But I have to say, I can't just say it's just one woman. I embody parts of all these women that I specifically mentioned here. They're all a part of me and help contribute to who I am today, as well as my sister, of course. Let's not forget her. But I can say that I actually took parts of every single one of them, and I could see exactly how it mirrors onto my life today.
Yeah. And you and your family are originally from St. Lucia, is that correct?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. I want to make sure that I mentioned that, because there's a lot that I know about Coach Karen that none of y'all know. So I need to make sure that I put that out there. Like, well, I didn't know she's from St. Lucia. Yeah. But here's the thing. Now, I always ask my entrepreneurs, my people that come on, because I do music. My thing that I love is if there is that song that inspires you beyond, if you are in a mood and there's that one song that's going to lift you out of your, I want to call it funk, what would that song or songs be for you, Karen?
Oh my gosh, I have a playlist.
I have a
playlist. Yes.
I know you do.
But I'll tell you what, like, it's so funny because I have a morning jumpstart your day call that I host every morning from 7:30 to 8. And this morning, the song for the theme there were two. The very first one was Unstoppable by Sia.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second one was Ain't Nobody Gonna Break My Stride. You got to keep on moving.
Keep on moving. Yes, that came out like the 80s. I used to love that.
So it's so funny. This is what I said, because every day you want to create an intention on who you're going to be. Because of course in life, anything in a day, you could go up, you could go down. Like literally, what are you going to use to pull yourself up today? And this morning on the call, I said, those are the two songs I'm listening to today. They're going to pull me out when I'm in my funk, because it's going to happen. And I know it's going to happen.
I feel like every entrepreneur, every creative, every coach, someone, you need that song, you need those playlists that's going to make sure to yank you out of whatever, funk or distress you might be feeling. Your numbers might not be right. The dream of doing a speaking engagement didn't come through, whatever that happens. And then you put on Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Whoa, I gotta keep on moving. Like, I love that choice of a song. Karen, that's such a great thing. If people want to find out more about, number one, your dream building coach, and of course, you can overcome anything with God, the anthology that you wrote with Seizure, where would they go?
Well, first off, I would recommend everyone join me in a 12-week game called Destiny by Design. And to get more information on that, you just need to go to design12 GLACE.com. And if you want to have a copy, a digital version of the book, or an autographed copy of the book, go to forgive.coachglace.com. Those are the two ways. And Val, go ahead.
And so it's design12.coachglass.com if they want to join your 12-week cohort.
Destiny by Design game. Yep.
Destiny by Design game. And then, of course, the actual book, Forgive, coachglass.com, because you can overcome anything with God. I love that title. So I'm so inspired by that title. And like I said, your chapter really moved me. And it's one of the reasons why I decided I have got to have Karen come to the platform. And I know we talk music, we talk entertainment, we talk all those things, but we talk entrepreneurs. And for you coming from a family of entrepreneurs, you are ideal for this platform. So thank you so very much for coming. Any last things you'd like to say to our audience? about dreams or anything?
Well, here's the thing. The first thing you want to do is you want to take that first step. Reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And second, Val, I just want to acknowledge you for what you do. I want to acknowledge you for the love of music. I really do. And, one of the main things is that, like, literally, the core of everything, there's music. And I really honor you for what you do and what you stand for. So thank you for having me, and thank you for being my friend.
You got it. You got it. I thank you so very much for definitely just being I feel like you have been supporting me in this entrepreneurial journey for well over 3 or 4 years. So I appreciate and love and respect you. And like I said, guys, please, you can overcome anything with God. Please pick up this anthology, read her chapter. I think you are the first chapter in this book. You're one of the first chapters in this book. So please go ahead and pick it up and get some more information about that. Karen Glace, good to see you.
Thank you, Val the Voice.
And I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes Podcast. The Interludes Podcast.
Original concept by Valerie Johnson.
Sports segments for Talk on Tuesdays, produced by Coach Tony Thompson.
Original intro and outro music produced by Kendall Nesbitt.
The Interludes Podcast, a pure Lighthouse production. This episode is brought to you by our brand new website, PureLighthouseMedia.com, the official home of A DJ Saved My Life, where the ABCs of podcasting meet personal transformation. And now available in print. Order your signed copy today and discover how finding your voice can change your life. Are you a business or entrepreneur looking to promote your work through a dynamic podcasting platform? Partner with us through sponsorship and marketing opportunities. Your message belongs in front of our audience. Got that $1 million podcast idea, but don't know where to start? Whether you need a coach, a guide, or a full-on producer, I'm here to walk you through the process and bring your podcast vision to life. Visit PureLighthouseMedia.com today to get your book, book your consultation, or connect with us about sponsorship. Let's grow together.